Hi. Hello. I'm pretty sure editing and posting this on Halloween is cutting it a little close, but here it is. I'm making a bunch of spooky snacks, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want to see it, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm starting off with these like zombie rotten deviled egg things. I tried to do that thing where you like crack the shell with a spoon, and then you put it into like, food coloring and water to dye the egg, so that when you peel the egg, there's like these little spider situations, like spider web pattern on it. All that did was waste my time. That did not, you'll see in this next clip, yeah. As I'm peeling the egg, the inside of the egg is untouched, unscathed by the dye. So that was a little bit of a bust. I don't recommend doing that. It's a waste of your time. So next, I'm having the eggs. I'm using those yolks, half a cup of Greek yogurt, roughly, and about 2 teaspoons of relish. I'm using dill relish. And then 2 teaspoons of Dijon Mustard. And then I'm going to mix all of that together. Oh, and a little bit of salt. I forgot about the salt. So, like about a teaspoon of salt, roughly. Stupid. All right, and then I mix that together, and then I'm adding in some like lime green food coloring. And then I thought using my blender would work. It didn't work. I just had to mix it by hand. But that's what I ended up with. I thought this was going to be a bust, but once I put them in the eggs with some everything but the bagel seasoning on top, it actually looks pretty good. Next, I'm going to show you 2 ways I do these spooky Oreo truffles. Just to start off, I'm crushing up some Oreos, like 36 Oreos to be exact. I'm going to add in this, I don't know how to say it, I call it newfangled cheese. I know that's wrong. I don't care. I think the magic number is about 1.5 packages of this. And then you're just going to mix it all together. Then for both of these, actually, I'm going to use these white chocolate chips, followed by coconut oil, which is the magic ingredient to making this work better. So I'm just kind of eyeballing both of these. Feel free to do the same. And then for the first one, you're mixing up, I'm going to take that melted chocolate, and I've microwaved the coconut oil and the chocolate chips. And then one way to do this is with these silicone mold things. So first I'm just like putting like a thin-ish layer all over the mold, making sure I get it everywhere. And then something that might be helpful, especially with little details, is after it's been in the fridge for a while, kind of filling in these little like detailed spots so they don't come apart, as well as building up the like walls, because gravity is really working against you with these sometimes. But after they've been in the fridge for like, I don't know, like 5 minutes at least, you're gonna take your like Oreo mixture and with clean fingers, you're gonna push it into the molds and then put them in the freezer. Once they're out of the freezer, I am just taking that melted chocolate coconut oil again and covering the back, making sure that the chocolate meets chocolate, so like the walls touch the back. And then if you see, I've got some like worms and some ghosts and those skulls. For the second way, you're going to take your Oreo mixture and you're rolling them into balls and then putting those in the freezer. After they come out of the freezer, covering them with the same chocolate coconut oil mixture. To do this, I'm using a straw. I'm sure you can think of a better way. I cannot. So I'm just shoving a straw in there, covering it with chocolate, and then once I'm done, I like push it off the straw and onto the surface, and then I like cover up the hole that the straw left. Then I'm taking some of the chocolate that I've dyed with that lime green food coloring, and I'm going to like put a little splatter. My intention was to do like a drizzle. That didn't work. So instead I did like a splash of it. That's like a circle-ish shape. And then, yeah, I tried to make eyeballs. They didn't look the best, but I tried. So after I make that splatter here, I'm adding a chocolate chip, like a milk chocolate chip for my pupil. Okay, and the last one is this caramel apple popcorn. I used a recipe for the apple portion of this popcorn, which I'll link below. The recipe calls for a bag of microwave popcorn, but I got this air popper, and I just love making popcorn in that thing. So I used that instead, but if you don't have one, use microwave popcorn. Then I'm adding like butter and corn syrup. Again, the recipe will be linked below, but I'm just kind of like melting those together in a pot on the stove. Then I'm adding in some sugar and some green apple jello, and I'm mixing that all together. And then it kind of, I don't know, it like didn't mix very well. And I don't know if it's because I had too much Jell-O or what the issue was, but to make it mix better and just be a better consistency in general, I added some more corn syrup. And then in the recipe, it said like to bring it to a boil. It was burning already as I was adding it, or as I was like stirring it for the first couple minutes. So I don't think I ever brought it to like a full boil. But once it did start to like bubble and stuff, that's when I decided it was time to be mostly done. As you can see, if you can look at the bottom, it's like burning there. So then I like mixed in the popcorn. Once I like mixed this all up and turned the heat down and all that jazz, I took my popcorn that I popped and I'm gonna mix it in and incorporate it. You gotta work quickly, otherwise the color turns because it like starts to burn and caramelize and all that. But yeah, I'm adding my popcorn and I'm stirring this in. I recommend working carefully and using like a hot pad or something, maybe a longer handle, because I made a mistake. And after I rinsed my burn in cold water, I just spread this popcorn out on some aluminum foil on a pan. I put it in an oven that I had preheated, and it stayed in the oven for like 10 minutes. When it came out, it looked super ugly. But I mixed in this caramel corn, and once it was all mixed with the caramel corn, it actually didn't look quite as bad. It actually wasn't quite done anymore, which is great because I thought I was gonna have to throw it away.
Now, like Face, for the family and consumer science side, they're rebuilding their entire like kitchen.
And that's it. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, give it one of this thing and subscribe if you would like to do that. And comment if you got something to say. And yeah, have a great